Today's top story brings us to northern Idaho, where a devastating and deeply unsettling tragedy has unfolded. Over the weekend, a routine wildfire response on Canfield Mountain near Coeur d'Alene turned into a violent and fatal ambush. While engaged in efforts to contain a fast-moving brush fire, a team of 3 firefighters was suddenly and deliberately attacked by an armed assailant. 2 of the firefighters were killed at the scene, and a third remains hospitalized with serious injuries. Authorities believe the gunman targeted the crew intentionally, though the motive is still under investigation. The suspect fled into the dense forested area surrounding the fire zone, prompting an immediate and large-scale manhunt involving the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, Idaho State Police, and federal agencies, including the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Law enforcement officials have deployed drones, helicopters, and canine units in an effort to locate the suspect, who is considered armed and extremely dangerous. At this time, the identities of the fallen firefighters have not been publicly released, pending official notification of next of kin. However, tributes are already pouring in from fire departments and emergency response units across the state and the country. Local communities have begun organizing memorials, with a candlelight vigil scheduled for tonight in downtown Coeur d'Alene. The mayor, along with regional fire chiefs, will be in attendance, and a moment of silence will be observed at all active fire stations across Idaho. The U.S. Fire Administration has pledged full support for both the investigation and the families of those affected, while members of Congress are already calling for federal assistance and safety reforms. This incident has sent shockwaves through the firefighting community. Fire crews are trained to battle some of the most dangerous conditions on Earth: raging flames, collapsing terrain, extreme heat, but few are prepared for the threat of targeted violence in the line of duty. Over the past decade, attacks on first responders have increased in number, with recent data suggesting a troubling rise in ambush-style assaults, particularly in rural and wildland areas. In response, firefighter unions are urging agencies to consider pairing wildfire crews with armed law enforcement escorts during deployments in remote or high-risk locations. There are also calls for new investments in early warning communication tools and for enhanced training to help firefighters respond to unexpected hostile encounters. Local residents are in shock. Canfield Mountain, a popular hiking area with scenic overlooks and wildlife trails, is now the site of an ongoing crime scene. Several trailheads have been closed, and residents nearby have been asked to remain indoors while the search continues. Volunteers from the community have come together to deliver food and supplies to emergency crews stationed around the area, a show of solidarity with those risking their lives to protect public lands and homes. As the investigation unfolds and the search for the suspect intensifies, there is one message ringing out from this tragedy: the safety and protection of our first responders must be a national priority. The men and women who answer the call during disasters do so selflessly, without hesitation. Their loss is not just a blow to their families and departments, it is a wound to every community that relies on their courage. We will continue to follow this story closely, tracking developments from law enforcement and updates on the condition of the surviving firefighter. Please stay alert if you're in the Coeur d'Alene area, and above all, remember to show your support for those who stand on the front lines to keep us safe.